How's it going, everybody? It's Michael with the Rooster here, and I'm here with next Friday's show. We got a show next Friday, the 17th of February, featuring the Brent Cates duo.
Come together right now over me.
And Garrett Huffman.
So come on home. Don't you think it's time now? Find your head, pack your bags, finally make it live out.
And I'm here with the guys now. Fellas, introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? My name is Garrett Huffman.
What's up, guys? My name's Brent Cates.
Scott Cody, how y'all doing?
So Brent and Scott make up the Brent Cates duo. Brent has a long history of playing music around here. No, these guys are going to bring a great show to the Rooster next Friday. I'm really excited. When Brent and I started talking about booking a show at the Rooster, I asked him, I was like, well, do you want a whole night yourself? Do you want an opener? And I think Brent, the thought of having an opener was appealing because Brent's so used to doing these long 3-hour, 4-hour nights. So when I asked Brent about an opener, he was like, well, that's interesting. And before I even asked the question, I already knew who I was going to ask to open. Because Brent didn't know this at the time, but Garrett's a young prodigy the same way that Brent was. And I think that their sounds are very similar. You know, if you go back and listen to the music that Brent was making, what year were those albums? You got 2 albums that are out.
2009 was the first one. March of 2009, so it's coming up on, 16 years? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then the second one, I think it was 2016, 15, 16.
So if you go back and you listen to Brent's albums, and then you listen to the music Garrett's making now.
Appreciate that prodigy comment, though. The money will be in your bank account next week.
Well, if you listen to Brent's music and you listen to Garrett's music, you can see that there's some similar styles there. Not the same, but similar. So you guys were a great pair, which I think is going to make for an excellent show at the Rooster.
Yeah, for sure.
So first, let me just go ahead and say thank you guys for all agreeing to do this.
Oh, yeah.
So Garrett,
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to our audience. We've had you on the show before, but since we last spoke, there's a lot has happened.
A lot has happened.
So if you want to go ahead and do some humble bragging, now would be a good time.
I don't know anything like that. But yeah. Well, long story short, I taught myself how to play guitar over quarantine, and all that. I just fell in love with songwriting and music, and we started playing shows really, really fast after that. After I taught myself, kind of just jumped right into the fire with playing shows and stuff, and yeah, we played about 100 and almost 80 shows now since then, solo shows, and then I'm with a record label in Nashville, Tennessee called Iron Gate Records, and they put up my music and promote me and stuff like that, and so yeah, we're trying to release a song, one song every month for the rest of the year. So that's the plan.
That's a great goal to have.
Yeah,
that's a great goal.
We're trying to just flood the market and really put out a bunch of music.
Hey, Garrett went from athlete to musician through the pandemic. It's pretty remarkable.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
But I could see you looking at Garrett like, man, I remember those days. Like,
But you're looking at me and Scott come across as like these dry, yeah.
Well, I've talked a lot about our mission at the Roosters to kind of elevate, for artists such as you guys, giving you the bigger stage, making you the focal point of the show or why people are there, and it's, I'm seeing guys like you and other people that we've had on the stage that have been at it for a long time. I'm starting to see that twinkle in their eye come back.
Yeah, I'm more excited about this than, not to say that we don't enjoy every show, because I treat every show the same way.
Yeah.
But I'm more excited about this because we don't ever play originals.
No.
We don't. I've had this, like I said, the record's almost 16 years old. I'm having to go back and relearn some of this stuff. Me and Scott, I'm like, well, I got to learn my originals because I haven't played them in so long. And then some of them I haven't ever played live. So Scott's had his hands full. He's got charts in there. He's like, because when I wrote this stuff, I was kind of like him. I picked up the guitar a year before I did this album.
Yeah.
And so, I was a drummer before that. I played a little piano, but I didn't know how to play guitar. So the thing about that is I played guitar just by ear. And so the things I was doing were not normal. Yeah. And so going back and trying to learn that now and then
I've got to transpose that into actual.
It's like, what you gonna do?
That's your heart.
Dislocate your pinky. You know, and
Wouldn't that be easier if we just played
Yeah,
it here?
it would, but it's not correct, Scott. Yeah, so you know, you're gonna capo back here on the 13th.
Dynamic here that I'd like to address. So, Garrett has been doing it solo since he started. And with this record deal comes the perks of being able to put together a band.
Mm-hmm.
And Brent, you've had a band for a long time, and now you've kind of scaled back to doing the duo thing. And so talk for a little bit about, Garrett, talk to me for a second about how you feel about bringing on a whole band and how the dynamics of that's going to work and the chemistry and all that.
Well, I mean, I never played with a band at all, really. To be honest, I mean, it's always been solo. I've done some duo stuff too, starting out. But yeah, we were just wanted to do bigger venues, bigger shows. That was the main root of it. We wanted to put a band together, and I think we found some really good people. And so we found one guy in South Carolina and a few guys around here in
The label helped you find him?
No, we had to go.
We had to go out.
We had to go out and find them. Because they're in Nashville, so even if they did have people, I mean, it'd be hard.
It's like a plethora of musicians.
Oh yeah, it's almost too many. Yeah. They say you just throw a rock and
you're gonna hit
a songwriter. So
it's like finding a church in Gastonia.
Yes,
There's one over in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, we're super excited about putting a band together, but we're making sure that we find the right group of people first before we started, because we want a group of committed people.
Are you finding that your songs, when you add the extra production to your songs, are they still holding up the way you want them to?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've got an amazing producer, David. He's with Traffic Sound Studios in Dallas, and we just got done with him a little bit earlier today. We finished up a new song. But yeah, so I mean, we work really, really good together and stuff. We just throw the ideas back and forth, and
is the band incorporated into that, or is it just you and the producer?
Yeah, right now it's just me and the producer, but we might try to get the band in there later in the year, like next year. Yeah, so yeah, just he's the man because
it's its own special challenge. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, talk for a minute.
All this at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it is really.
It's like,
well, I mean, the world's not the same as it was 16
it's not.
years
It's
ago.
very different.
Things do move at a much faster pace now.
Yeah.
So talk about your experience going from being in a band to making a transition to doing a smaller scale show.
Well, the first band that I tried to front is different when you're behind a drum kit. I fronted a band from behind a drum kit. You're hidden. I mean, you know, it's a lot easier. You can hide yourself. But my first time stepping out and trying to front a band, it didn't go very well because everybody that I hired to play with me were all mentors to me, and they were all heroes of mine. And I looked.
Were you getting swallowed up by the intimidation?
Felt like intimidated, and I couldn't come out of my shell, and I wasn't confident enough. And so I backed off, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to drums for a while. I went back to drums for a while, and then, the second time I came out, I was much more confident in how I got hooked up with Scott. After I played with Ben Gatlin for a while, I was a drummer for Ben Gatlin. And then we had frequented the same rooms.
For years.
And he couldn't do an open mic at Harvey's and Cornelius anymore, so he handed it off to me. And when I showed up, Scott was there. I was like, hey, I seen you in a while. What are you doing? He's like, I'm here for the open mic, man. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he actually... every week, Scott kept showing up, and nobody else did. So it ended up being a duo instead of an open mic every week. And Scott would actually he's like, man, you're fiddling with that mixer, and I don't know why I'm making Scott sound like the whitest.
I was saying, your impression of Scott is very interesting.
But
now keep using the voice. Commit. If you're going to do it, commit.
So he's like, I got a mixer in the car. So I was like, well, sure, bring it in, And so I realized, Scott was really dedicated.
Well, it sounds more like you guys were really having fun.
We're really having fun. And then he called me up one day. He said, hey, man, I got this gig at Friends in Beaumont, and my front man is crap to bed. He's not coming. You think you could front this damn thing? And I was like, and for a minute I panicked. Of like, I don't know what y'all play. I don't know. He's like, don't worry. I was like, I don't have an electric. So he's like, I got like 5 electrics. So you can just pick them. And then Scott's pulling out these Les Pauls and freaking Tellys, and I'm like in heaven. I'm like, let me try this one. And so I played that that gig with him in Belmont, it was so much fun. I was like, because there was no pressure. It was just.
Are you guys still having fun like that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so we put a band
that's
together.
how you know it's right.
Yeah, we put a band together, and where the band was great for 4 years.
Yeah.
It was just, COVID hit, and
Took us out.
took us out.
Yeah.
Like, we started losing rooms. We couldn't get along. The
We
equipment. We had a
played the
lot of
rooms.
equipment, and we all were getting tired, and backs were giving out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if we just bought a bow stick and stopped doing that? And, there you have it. Now we're acoustic duo. Scott and Brent Variety Acoustic Duo.
So you'll be playing next Friday next Friday, February 17th at the Rooster. What kind of show can our fans expect to see from you guys? And Garrett, talk a little bit about what we're going to see from you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. With my show, I play all. I'll probably take some song requests because I usually do that at all my shows. So I'll have to get the crowd involved.
Careful with that in Gastonia.
Yeah, I know. I know that. But yeah, we got a few people coming that we know we think, and yeah, we'll see what they want to hear. So yeah, I'll probably play some original tunes too, and yeah, just take it from there. So cool little show.
Fellas, what can our fans expect from the Brent Cage duo?
Well, we're going to listen to people's requests, but we're going to play whatever we get.
Here's what we'll do. We'll put a tip bucket.
Yeah.
We'll put a tip bucket on the front of the stage.
We're going to play tractor rap.
We'll put a sticky notepad next to the bucket.
Yeah.
And if you want to request a song from any of these guys, we'll see how it goes with the tip bucket, whether or not that song gets played.
The way we approach it, man, is we're going to do a handful of originals. Probably about, I think, 10, something like that.
Depending on how hard I work.
And we pick our covers based on, you go 5+ decades. So if you start with "Don't Hit Me No Lines" and Give You something like that, the next song is probably going to be like Dave Matthews, and the next song is probably going to be 80s. The next song is going to be like soul from the 60s. You're not going to stay in one place too long.
That's cool.
So you keep reaching the room.
Are you doing anything similar when you play covers, or like, how do you approach?
We probably need to figure that out.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
we don't want to go there.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna. I'll probably give my set list.
Come out and just do the same show. You do the same. You do the same.
We already learned each other's originals.
We just play the same songs, just verbatim.
Exactly.
Yeah. No matter what, you got to remember your first job is you're an entertainer.
Yeah.
And
It's not your shows.
Yeah, it's not about you. You're there to entertain the crowd. If the crowd likes what you're doing, be it a cover or be it original, then you're doing your job and you're succeeding. So many people ask me sometimes, well, when do you know that you're succeeding or not? Well, for me, it's when I'm having a good time.
Having fun. That's right.
That's when I'm succeeding. But, no matter what, if you're entertaining the crowd and the crowd's staying and they're buying drinks and they're having a good time and they're spending money in the venue,
You're doing something right.
you're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great note to end on, fellas. I want to thank you all for taking the time to talk to me and promote this show.
Yeah.
Guys, it's next Friday, February 17th. This is going to be a fun show. You're going to hear some songs you know. You're going to hear some songs you don't know. And who knows, maybe you have a new favorite artist by the end of the night, right?
That's right.
Anything you want to leave the audience with?
Be sure to
See
check
you
out
guys
Scott's
there.
OnlyFans account.
That's right.
Good stuff.
I'm
Is it
modeling
feet?
my new bikini.
Garrett, tell them where to find you.
Yeah, I got a website, GarrettHuffman.com, and on there it's got all the shows. We're booked up till about May, so we're playing all over the place. Yeah, just go on there and check us out.
That's Garrett Huffman with 2 R's, 2 T's, and 2 F's.
Yep, we gotta always leave 2 on everything. I gotta make it
Roll
even.
out letters.
And Brent, where can they find you guys at?
You're on Facebook.com/Brent Scott, Brent. I hate my name, by the way. Brent Scott, SCOTT.
Yes, like it always
Music.
is.
Might have changed.
So that's Facebook.com/Brent Scott Music. For those of you that didn't follow.
We also have a YouTube page, Brent Cates Music, and we do. There's some. There's like covers basically on there.
Honestly, we're on all of the medias. The top
TikTok,
ticks, the grams
the
of
top
instant,
ticks, the ticks. Yeah.
We're out there.
I'm
So just
still
check us
refused
out.
to do the TikTok
The
thing.
Instagrams.
Yeah, we're the Rooster's on Facebook and Instagram at the Rooster Gastonia. We will not do TikTok, Snapchat, or any of that other shit until I find somebody young with the energy to do it for me. Because 2 is enough for me to keep up with.
yeah.
happens. Yeah. All right,
Awesome.
folks.
Peace and love, y'all.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Peace.
Cheers.